what's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome to fourth quarter. What is up, guys? We're here for the fans, by fans. Remember, you can check our podcast out. It's all gonna be the link is gonna be in the description. Craig, what is up, man? What's going on, man?
Chilling, man. Just getting ready to get through this. I guess the last episode before we hit a break, and then it's gonna be a. I mean, besides the summer, it's nothing on sports related that I mean, especially like now between
It's nothing.
the draft and then after the draft, maybe some free agency stuff pops off, and then it's just a long baseball. So fortunately, we have the Olympics for me. Like I love the Olympics.
I love the Olympics. Yeah.
I guess the big three, they'll be in Baltimore this weekend. I thought about
Yeah,
going.
I saw that.
I almost bought tickets, but I'm not going. I'm not going. I got too much stuff to do around the house, so I'm not going to go. But yeah, that'd have been cool. That would have been better than the one in DC last year, because the one in DC last year only had 2 games because it was the playoffs.
The big three, right? That's what you said you saw. I think you said you saw Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah.
No, who else? You saw somebody else too, right?
I mean, it was Gilbert Arenas. He sat like a couple rows in front of me. It was T.O. was there. There's a bunch of rappers. I know, I guess Gilly the Kid.
Gilly Wallow. Yeah,
he was there.
Hilarious. Yeah.
And NLC Chopper, I think is that's his name.
Yeah.
NLE Chopper. I'm sorry.
NLE Chopper. Yeah.
He was there. There's a bunch of couple of celebrities. I don't even know if you call them A-list or whatever, but yeah, it was cool. But I mean, the tickets for the games last year were high, and you just saw 2 games, really just 2 games because it was the playoffs. But in Baltimore this weekend, they're going to have 6 games. All the teams are going to be playing, so you probably get your money's worth going up there for that. But unfortunately, I ain't going.
Yeah, man. That's nice, man. This is the last show for the season, guys. We usually take a break. As you see, football season's over, basketball season's over. I mean, nobody's talking about the NBA draft, which is crazy. I mean, people are, but you know, I'm not.
I'm gonna watch it.
I don't know. I'm gonna watch it, but it's not like I'm not really excited. I don't really know anybody.
Next year's draft should be better.
Yeah, next year's gonna be way better, I think.
They said it's supposed to be projected way better than this one, and then
It's some guys coming out.
Should be better too. The next 2 years should be really good for the NBA draft.
Yeah,
so.
It should be. Yeah,
we'll see.
I can't wait, man. Yeah, I'm chilling out this weekend. You know what I started to notice is funny? Guys, y'all have to like peep it out, right? Once this happens every year, y'all notice your favorite sports shows take a break or there's an extra host, is because it's nothing happening this time of year. Nothing. It's a break time, guys. This is when people take vacations. 4th of July, right? August, people take vacations in August. This is just the time. I'm with you, Craig. I'm happy. It's the Olympics. It's gonna be nice. The Olympics are gonna be in LA 2028, which is also awesome. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna make my way, guys. I don't know how, but I'm gonna make my way there. I'm gonna go to something. So I said it's been nice. Craig, a lot of NBA news, my guy. A lot of NBA news. We were just talking, and the way that it happened, it was like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, okay, it's like 15 things that happen in the NBA, which is it usually happens around this time. This is a okay free agent class. We're going to talk about it. Some people in the free agent class we're going to address. You know, it's the end of the NBA season, man. We got to show love. Shout out to the NBA draft, which is coming up. So I mean, everything else is phenomenal, guys. Now, Craig, let me start off with this, guys, because I'm a Lakers fan, and Craig, you asked me this. You said, what would I think if JJ Redick was, the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers? It's very, very interesting because once I heard it, and then I've come to terms with it. I like his press conference. I like his idea. I like the coaching staff that he wants to build. At this point, he's the Lakers head coach for the next 4 years. That's a pretty long contract. So I think LeBron. We'll talk about LeBron free agency later, but I think JJ Redick. He's very smart. I think he wants to run like what Boston ran, very analytical, wants to stretch the floor, shoot a lot of threes. He wants to run the hub through Anthony Davis. He wants to run the offense through Anthony Davis, which is phenomenal. That's what it should be. He wants LeBron to shoot more threes. I think he wants more of a point guard. We'll talk about that later. We got some NBA trades. We're talking about everything NBA, guys. Come on, man. This is it. It's a lot of things that happen. But going back to JJ Redick, it wasn't shocking. He wants to run five out as well. Uh, he's going to shoot more threes like Boston. He's going to pay attention to the analytics. And he's a former NBA player. I like some coaching staff picks already. He's going to pick Rondo, which I think that's phenomenal. So, you know, I am getting I now that the hire is over. Whether he's in over his head, I think it might be a good hire because they two more things. Anthony Davis was involved in the head coaching search. LeBron was not because they want to make sure the Lakers organization is run through Anthony Davis. The second thing I heard that I was listening to Hoops tonight and with the interview, I forgot the young man's name he was interviewing, but he's a Lakers insider reporter. He was saying that JJ Redick wowed him in the interview. And he said that, when the players last year, when the players were like Darvin Ham, they didn't know what was going on. Remember Anthony Davis was like, I don't know what's going on.
Mhm.
So what happened was Darvin Ham, they would have shoot around in early practice, and then right before the game and during warm ups, Darvin Ham would say, all right, we're doing a whole different game plan, and there's a whole new starting lineup. So that's why the players were confused. And they're like, wait a minute. I knew I was starting this morning, and we went through walkthroughs. Why do I know I'm not starting now? So I think it was just a lot of confusion. And but JJ Redick's the head coach, and let's hope he succeeds. It's either a high risk, it's let's see if it's a gamble or a calculated risk. Let's see. Craig, what are your thoughts about JJ Redick becoming the Lakers head coach?
I don't think it was the best spot for him. I thought the Pistons probably was just because it's it's his first time being a coach, so weren't too many there wouldn't be too many expectations laid upon him. You don't really get a lot of expectations with the Pistons in general, but they're also such a young team and such a bad team over the last couple of years that they only really, I guess you could go down, but for the most part, the only place to go is up. They have a top 5 pick this year. They'll probably have another top 10 pickish, I guess, next year. So, and they have some talent on that roster. They just haven't been able to figure it out how to work together. So, with the Lakers, there's just a lot of pressure for him to win, especially when you have LeBron on that team. Although I don't think the Lakers are championship contenders. So I think a lot of the expectations come from the fans
Yeah.
and come from just the
It
history
does.
of the
It does.
Lakers being the fact that they're always that they have 17 championships and that they're normally in the conversation,
Yes.
at least in the past when they've and haven't had so many superstars on their roster, Shaq, Kobe, Magic, all those guys. So it just kind of comes with the territory. So um, and the Lakers over the last 12 years or so. I think I mentioned this last week or week before last. They only had one season where they finished above seventh place, and that was 2020 in the bubble. So other than that, they've been in the playing game or not in the. I guess the playing game or before the playing, they were just playing the 2 seed in the first round,
Yeah.
or the 1 seed, or just not making the playoffs at all. So
Hmm.
um, there it's going to be some. I guess the expectations are going to be, I guess, unfair expectations because, like I said, I don't think it seems the championship roster right now. Now, depending on what they do in free agency or possibly even with the draft or wherever they can do, maybe try to get this roster to fit his style of play that he wants to come in there and have for this team. I think their defense needs to be better. Um, I think they need to focus the priority around Anthony Davis
Yeah.
because LeBron James probably has like 2 or 3 more years left in him. So Anthony Davis is most likely going to be there after LeBron James leaves. He's going to be the focal point. He's going to be the main guy, and you kind of have to build around him. So I think he should, if he's healthy, I think he should be the. Which is kind of hard to say because LeBron James has always been the one guy, the 1A guy, I guess. I would probably try to make LeBron the 1B guy,
Yeah.
even though I think at 40 years old or I think he's 39, he's still playing like he's 29.
Yeah.
So he can still go out there and do it, but I think the focus needs to be centered around Anthony Davis if he can be healthy enough to carry the load because he's going to have to lead his team in going down the road in the future.
Yeah.
So, and also hope that the Lakers organization gives JJ a couple years
I hope so too.
um, instead of just firing him right off the bat. They haven't had a long-term coach since Phil, so they're going to have to just be patient with this hire. I mean, like you're hiring a guy who doesn't have any basketball coaching experience at all, except for like coaching his kids or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he doesn't have any coaching experience. So you have to kind of give it time for him to make something happen. Even if they don't make the playoffs this year and they just make the play in and they lose, like you can't just. I know the fans are probably going to be up in arms because that's what the Lakers fans
Hmm.
they're known or they're used to having like a competitive team or a team that's competing for a
Yes.
championship. So you're going to have to give it some time. There have been some successful first time head coaches like Steve Kerr, obviously, who took over for Mark Jackson, who was another one. Larry Bird, Steve Nash to an extent. Granted, he had some really good players when he joined the team. I think Jay Kidd when he first came in as a head coach. So
Yeah.
there's been some history of guys having being the first time head coach that had success. So it can happen. The Lakers won 47 games last year. So
Didn't Doc
that's something
Rivers
that they
too?
can build on. They were right there at 50 games.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. Maybe
Maybe. Did he
I got to
win?
double check it, but
I think he won Coach
I
of the
just
Year,
know that
but they won 50 games.
um,
It was a weird year.
I just know that Steve. I definitely know Steve Kerr came in because I think he won the championship his first year, but he also took over for a Mark Jackson team, or maybe it was his second year. But he took over for a Mark Jackson team that kind of started. That was the kind of I guess to an example or to an extent, it was like Tony Dungy getting replaced by John Gruden,
Yeah.
and this
It
is
was
kind of what happened. It was like the
yeah.
John Gruden, Tony Dungy thing in the NBA, and he took over and then he won the championship. So with that roster,
Uh,
so
that's a very interesting. I haven't thought about it from that point of
that's
view.
kind of what it seemed like to me because I mean he had that team going in the right direction and they just fired him way too early. But I mean I'm not a I hated JJ Redick when he was in college. I hated JJ Redick when he was in the pros. But when he became an analyst and he was talking, I understood what he was talking about and I liked what he was. I look forward to watching him on shows like First Take or Get Up or something like that to
Yeah,
explain
he knows basketball. Like
X's and
yeah.
O's. So I'm hoping that it's hard for me to wish any type of hope or go for a Duke guy, but um, I guess I'm hoping for that he has success. Hopefully they can at least make some noise in the next couple of years before LeBron James goes. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on him or the team in general, and it's a crowded West, man, and the West is only getting better.
It's
So
crazy. The West is
we'll see what
crazy.
happens, but that's why I think you just need to kind of lower your expectations for this team, unless he gets the roster that looks competitive, or is going to be competitive on both sides. So we'll see. But I mean, I'm not mad at the hire, but like I said, I just thought maybe for a first time go to the Pistons, but you can't pass up on the Lakers at all. You can't. That's
pass
Lakers
up.
and the Celtics are like two teams you just can't pass up. If you got the Lakers or the Pistons, you got a chance to go to the playoffs with one team and a chance to just trying to rebuild. You got to go for it. So
you got to go for it. Like that's what Shan Sharp
I ain't
says.
mad at
Like, yo, you can't turn down coaching LeBron and AD. Like you can't. But I do
not the
agree
coach
with
the
you.
Pistons.
Not the coach.
Well,
the
that's the only team
Pistons.
I think it's the only team that's left, which is weird because they got a draft today, and I don't know if they hired a coach.
Yeah. I don't think they have.
So I guess they're going to use the GM or somebody. Yeah, they don't have a coach, which is weird.
I think they hired Trajan Landon as the new GM.
Yeah, okay, well maybe he's going to be making a fix. So. That's another Duke guy, huh?
I think so, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Another head coach that was hired, Kenny Atkinson. He was hired as a head coach of the Cavaliers. And I think that, what's your thoughts about that? I mean, I think that it was a good hire. I like Kenny Atkinson. I think he's a good coach. I think he was a good hire.
He's okay. I think if he had the actual time in with the roster, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and maybe even James Harden, I think they would have been. They could have been competitive. They could have been the same type of team as when they had Steve Nash.
I agree.
I thought
maybe
he got
better. Maybe better.
I ain't gonna say he got a raw deal because his record was what it was. It wasn't great. I think he's like 120 and like 200 or one. Let me look it up. Yeah. I find it, but his record isn't great. But I think it could work out, depending on his scheme and things like that, and just what happens. But the Cavaliers, I think their number one priority is signing or re-signing Donovan Mitchell. Mm-hmm. They need to figure that out, or at least try to figure something out between him and Garland, because they had some issues. It seemed like in the playoffs, like it just wasn't working. Even though they did get to the second round, they had an opportunity there a couple times, but unfortunately Mitchell got hurt. So it is what it is there. But I hope that the Cavaliers, because I thought the Cavaliers did Bickerstaff dirty anyway. It's like these coaches. I mean, these executives in the NBA are just. I don't know, man. If you're not Greg Popovich or Eric Spoelstra or Steve Kerr or something like that, and you haven't proven yourself or I guess Doc Rivers Doc Rivers keeps getting jobs, and I don't know why.
Hey, he keeps getting jobs. I don't know.
It's like you just don't have a chance. You have to win that, even if you win a championship, like Budenholzer or the guy who coached the Lakers to a championship in 2020. Like, goddamn, these guys won you a championship. First time Lakers won a championship since 2010. They won a championship and gone. And then the Bucks hadn't won a championship since probably like the 70s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
And it's just insane. So I mean,
you know why they fired Bickerstaff? You know why they fired him, right?
No.
Donovan Mitchell didn't like. They trying to resign Donovan Mitchell. I heard he didn't favor him.
If they fire Bickerstaff and then they still can't re-sign Mitchell, I mean,
that's crazy.
That's insane. But it is what it is. I hope that they give Kenny Atkinson some time. I mean, they're not going to be a favorite championship team in the East just because it's a weaker conference. I mean, I think there's at least 3 teams definitely ahead of them, maybe 4, depending on what the Sixers do. And I would even still put the Sixers above them as long as Embiid is healthy. But yeah, you got to give this team the time, and you got to figure out what you're going to do with Mitchell and Garland or Garland, and then make some moves at free agency. I don't know who wants to go to Cleveland anymore, but
I don't know, but they said right now he's Donovan's going to resign. That's what
he's 118 and 190 as a coach.
He's 118. Yep, 118 and 190.
Which is
bad.
not good.
38% win percentage.
That's not good.
Coach. That's a
I think he
great
went to the playoffs
basketball.
one time.
That's a decent 3-point percentage. Not a good head coaching record. Not.
Maybe he'll get it together. But he has a good team though. He has a playoff team, obviously.
A good team, and they're in the East, so you know, if they keep everybody, they should be all right. I think it was a good.
Damn it!
I think it was good. All right. Yeah, it was good. All right. If Cleveland could commit to him, it's gonna work out. I think. Craig, a trade that happened. I saw some people talking about it, but not a lot. I call it a sneaky trade. But how about that OKC traded Josh Giddey for Chicago guard Alex Caruso straight up? No draft picks. Let me ask you this. What is the expectation for OKC Thunder? Because now they have Alex Caruso, who's that D&3 player.
I think after this past season and them getting the number 1 seed in the West, which is a tough thing to do, and being the youngest team ever number 1 seed with the number 1 seed, and then you have you make it to the second round and you end up losing to the team that eventually went to the finals. I think the expectations have to be pretty high again. I think at least getting to the conference finals at this point, like realistic expectations. Yeah. Now I'm pretty sure they're probably obviously they're thinking championship, especially after what happened last year. You go out and you get a guy named Caruso, or get Alex Caruso, who played with LeBron, played with the Lakers. He has that experience with him, and now he's on a team that's up and coming. I think they still need some size in the middle because Chet is just not big enough, I guess, in terms of body weight, in terms of size, muscle, and things like that. So I think they still need to do something there. He can kind of stretch the floor though, as he has been doing, and he can definitely get some block shots. He can contest, and Caruso is going to make a difference in terms of just guarding the perimeter. So I like the move. I should have known something was up because was up, but maybe like the writing on the wall. Because when he benched Giddey in the playoffs, his first time not starting all season, I think I brought it up, or somebody brought it up. And I was like, well, yeah, he changed the lineup and whatever, and it didn't work. And now they're down even more, or whatever it is. I don't know what the series was at the time, but I think they were already down, or maybe it was tied or something like that. He tried to make a move, try to make something happen. It didn't work. And now they traded Giddey. So
it's very odd,
Giddey's going through a bad situation. Yeah. But Caruso's back in the West, and he's going to an even better situation. So I'm here for it.
First of all, it was a phenomenal trade. But I'm with you, yo. Like, what's going on with Giddey? He was a lottery pick. You know?
Yeah.
Highly touted lottery pick. So for him to tinker off during the playoffs and on a young team, you can't have that.
He's still young too.
He's very young. So it's like we got to have somebody that's mature. That's what it boils down to. Because if you're not getting on the basketball floor, it's on you. You know, So for him to get benched, man, that sucks. Now here's the thing about Chicago: he's gonna get a lot of playing time, so it's a fresh start, and we know what Chicago's doing. We know what the Nets are
He,
doing.
he didn't have a good
Yeah,
series his last series though either against Dallas. His Dallas series was terrible. But yeah, you're right about the Bulls and what they're doing. So I ain't him getting playing time.
yeah, he's gonna
So
get playing time. Like, all right, and this isn't his last shot. Everybody needs
I knew.
reserves, but
He's
like
he's
he's still
21.
young. What is he? 21.
Yeah, which is
He's
crazy. He's
21.
21.
How long you been
So
in the
he's
league?
still.
Like 3 years.
This will be his fourth coming up this coming season. But yeah, 3 years. It's crazy.
That's crazy, man. But I'm with you. I see Western Conference Finals. Maybe the chip, but they got a good team. I see what you want with size. You want maybe like a more like an athletic big, like somebody like Derek Lively or something.
Yeah, somebody like that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
they don't really have a lot of size. They were getting outboarded.
yeah.
A lot
They
of those
don't.
games.
They don't have a lot of size. Yeah,
I don't know if they trying to be Golden State or something, but
that only works for them.
yeah, they got some things to figure out. But I think they're going in the right direction, especially with this move.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. He's perfect. Listen, as a Lakers fan, the funny thing is, if we would have never traded Alex Caruso or Kuzma, I'm not saying we would have won another championship, but we would have been better than we are now. We'd have probably been a fourth best team because that's what we're missing. We're missing a third option that this is Kuzma that knows his role, plays defense, and he gonna get you 17, 18 a game. They already know LeBron, right? You got KCP and Caruso who's gonna show up your perimeter D. But we traded all those picks, and now we're trying to get those players back. Ain't that funny, man? It's funny, man. Sometimes you gotta be patient, and it was the Westbrook trade. So it's all good. Some more news, man. The Knicks traded for Miles Bridges, and yes, guys, Miles Bridges did go to Villanova. If we did know that. But yes, and it's pretty big trade. I don't think the Nets and the Knicks have traded. I mean, I think it was a while ago, Craig. Maybe in the '90s. Maybe when the Knicks last time they traded. But I mean, this was a big trade. They traded a lot of first round picks. But I understand why you would do that for Miles Bridges. Um, I mean, I just if you're in a position right now. If you're one or two pieces away and fully healthy from challenging the Boston Celtics or any team in the East to going to the finals. So I think this is huge for the New York Knicks. Huge. You know what I'm saying? So I think and Miles Bridges is at Villanova. Um, Also with Tom Thibodeau with Miles Bridges, he doesn't miss games. So Tom Thibodeau loves to run players. He don't miss games. So because he doesn't miss games and he's durable, he's gonna fit right in. And then his defense is man. He's gonna slide in perfect right next to Jalen Brunson. Um, I mean, and now, I mean, let's be honest, guys. This is what teams will never tell you. The Nets are tanking. We got to be honest. They're trading when teams start trading away their best players. They're tanking. That's all, and it's okay. It happens. They're just like, hey, we gotta get a a star. We got to try to get the number one pick. You know, so maybe they trying to get Cooper Flag or something. I don't know. I don't know. But the Nets are tanking. Craig, what did you think about the Nets trading Miles Bridges to the Knicks?
Yeah, I agree that the Nets are tanking right now. They don't really have anybody anyway. I mean, after the whole Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and I guess to a certain extent Ben Simmons thing, all went down, and it didn't work out because of injuries and whatever else was going on. I mean, at this point, the Nets have to start over, and I get it. The Knicks traded away a bunch of. They traded for a really good player who can play offense and defense. But man, that's a lot of first round picks to be given up.
A lot.
Four protected, one unprotected first round picks,
It's a lot.
and a second round pick in there as well.
Yes.
I
It's a
mean,
lot.
it seems like they're the L.A. Rams or something like that. Trading away, they don't care about picks. It seems like they're just trying to go all in
Yep.
to try to make a championship run. And I mean, they have the talent, especially if everybody's healthy with Bridges there, and then you probably have you could probably bring, and now they're bringing Anunoby back.
They are.
You could probably bring DiVincenzo off the bench with Hart off the bench.
That's tough. I ain't gonna lie.
What else they got coming off the bench?
They still got Randall.
Keep. Yeah, I would assume Randall will start maybe with Williams and then Bridges, Anunoby, and Brunson. I mean, that's a mean five.
That's a mean starting five.
And then DiVincenzo and Hart coming off the bench, and then some other players.
You talk about a straight 5 out. That's a dangerous.
They're gonna be a dangerous team. So I'm hoping that it works out, because when the Knicks, teams like the Knicks, the Lakers, the Celtics, like the more popular teams, it's only, well, it should be only good for the NBA in terms of ratings and stuff like that, and just people wanting to watch. The Knicks haven't really been good in a while, and unfortunately they had a bunch of injuries last year, so that kind of hindered them. But I mean, I think the move is good for the short term. If they can make something happen out of it, at least get to the finals. But long term,
the Knicks in the finals.
If Knicks get to the finals, that's going to be. I mean, it's going to be really
crazy. It's gonna be
really
crazy.
good. I think it'll be good for the city of New York, because they haven't had anything to care about in terms of basketball since
all football.
'99, maybe, when the
99.
The Knicks went to the finals last time against the Spurs.
The Spurs, yep, the short year, yep.
The shortened season. Other than that, obviously they got baseball, but just in terms of basketball, I think they were hyped for the Melo years and the Linsanity and all that, and then they were for the Nets teams. But this team right here that the Knicks have is, on paper anyway, it looks really, really good. So I think they probably, at this point, maybe the second best team. I thought they were the second best team before they got Bridges. Now I think it's confirmed that they're really pushing Boston, or they can.
They're pushing Boston. They're
put a lot of pressure on them, at least just to say, just to tell them that they're coming and they're right there, and Boston can't just sit back and just think that just because they can bring the same team back that it's going to be easy for them. It's not.
Yeah, because
I think Porzingis is not going to start the season either. He might be hurt. So.
And you gotta remember, the Pacers are gonna have a full season of Pascal Siakam, Giannis and Dame are gonna be healthy, and we don't know what Philly gonna do. So it's gonna be interesting. But the Knicks have made it totally clear we are all in.
Yeah, they don't care.
From where they were to where they are now, it's phenomenal, Craig. It's a phenomenal turnaround, man. Phenomenal turnaround. All right, Craig. Another.
The Wizards got Malcolm Brogdon.
Hold on, what? I was just looking at it.
Wizards traded.
Wizards got Sarr. Oh, they traded?
Then no, I'm saying that they traded Adva
Oh, to Blazers.
Adva I don't know how to say his name
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the
yeah.
for Malcolm Brogdon. That's a good pickup. For the to be a point guard. I just don't know what they're doing with Poole because he was horrible last year. Very
Oh, he
disappointing.
wasn't a word.
So I want to see what happens with now that they're bringing Brogdon in. He can play point, but what happens to Poole? They're going to try to get, but his contract is out of control.
His contract's out of control.
So I don't know what they're going to do, but I actually like that move for the Wizards, bringing
Yeah, it's a nice move.
a veteran point guard in
It's a
there.
nice move.
And
It's a
Brogdon
nice move.
goes from the Celtics to to the Blazers, which is a bad team, rebuilding team, to the Wizards, another rebuilding team.
Another rebuilding team, bro.
He could have won. He could have won a championship.
Yep.
It's tough.
Yep. That's tough. That's tough.
Same thing with Marcus Smart. That's tough.
Yeah, yeah. He said I saw something today. He congratulated him though. He congratulated him.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's tough. He was like, "Yo, those my brothers. I congratulated them." It's tough that you get traded and they win. It's tough if you're a player and you like Tiki Barber leaves a free agency and they win a championship.
He's got to be.
It's gotta suck.
He's got to be congratulating him on Twitter, but then throwing stuff around the house. Talking or something. He's got to be pissed. I would be. Especially if it was out of my control. If it was out of my control when I got traded, I'd be pissed. But if it was something where I just left from free agency, I mean, you gotta be pissed at yourself.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You could have stayed. You decided to leave, but
you'd have been throwing stuff around the house like Shaq did.
If I got traded,
yeah, with Kobe. He said, "But Kobe won his 5th title. Shaq tore up his house."
Yeah.
He said he tore up his house, and then Kobe was like, "It was like, what is your most memorable thing about this championship?" I got one more than Shaq. Take that to the bank. I was like, oh, yeah. Shaq said he tore his house up when Kobe said that. Anyway, that's just a funny tidbit story. But, Craig, talking about free agency. Now, guys, we just did, like, the top free agents, the top 10 NBA free agents. And here's the thing. So NBA free agency is always different. You got NFL has restricted, unrestricted free agents, but the NBA has something called a player option, where they can sign their player option to stay another year, or they can opt out and become a free agent. But if you have a player option, that team can sign you for the most money. I believe so, right, Craig?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you could get a super max. I think if you made like an All NBA team or whatever.
Nobody's turning that money down. It's hard to turn that down. And then you have restricted free agent, of course, where it's a player can sign an offer with any team, but the original team can match the offer. So, all right. LeBron James has a player option. I'm going to be quick with this one. I know people are like, what's he going to do? He's going to sign his deal soon, probably this weekend or after 4th of July, whatever. He's going to opt out, and then he's going to re-sign with the Lakers for a 3-year, 161 deal. That's what he's going to do. He's not going to opt out to go anywhere in free agency. LeBron James is going to come back to the Lakers to sign a max deal. What do you think about LeBron James? What's your thoughts? You think he signs? You think he signs back?
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. I think he wants to stay in LA, so I mean, there's no reason for him to leave. I don't think I don't think the Bronny situation is going to make him. I guess say he's not going to sign there. It's not going to change. I don't think he's going to change his mind. Some people are saying it is, or it's a factor, or it could be a factor. I don't see it. Especially if Bronny ends up going somewhere like Portland. I don't think LeBron's going to Portland just to play with his son. So Yeah, I think he ends back up in LA.
Yeah. Uh, that was the easiest one. Now here's a very interesting one. Paul George has a player option. What do you think Paul George does?
I think he stays in LA. I don't. I think
For
the
real? Okay,
yeah. I
okay.
think he stays. I think this. I think he likes it in LA. I think it's better in
I
terms of
think Mount McNutt said that this
the
morning.
the, the problem is that I don't know in terms of living and like just like being somewhere and where you live at, then yeah, LA. But he has to deal with Kawhi maybe not being available for the playoffs. Um, and especially how long he's been there. He came in there with Kawhi, and they just haven't been able to do anything in the playoffs. And then last year, Kawhi played his most games I think since he's been in LA,
Yes, he
and
has. Yeah,
he didn't play a playoff game. So
yeah,
it's kind of iffy in terms of because I know there's plenty of options out there. I think New York's off the table now.
yep,
Um,
yep. New York can't
so
sign nobody else. I don't think.
it seems like it's is I guess the two options, popular options I've been hearing are the Clippers and the Sixers. I've also heard the Heat maybe, which wouldn't be a bad option just for cost of or just quality of living, quality of life. But yeah, I think he stays in LA. I think he's going to try to help get the Clippers, I guess, to the finals for the first time ever.
But I'm not gonna lie. I think he's gonna resign. Um, some people said that Golden State could try to make a trade for him, but he has to force his way. Um, because the Clippers are like, you can opt out or sign in. Like they're daring him. So Golden State said they'll max offer. Philly, I just don't
Golden State would be.
know. I don't know. I think he stays. I think he signs a 4-year Clippers joint and stays in LA. I think he does, man. I think people are speculating that he's going to leave, but I don't think so. I think he's going to stay in LA. They're going to sign him to the max. I think he's going to stay. Uh, this is easy. Tyrese Maxey. I think he's going to sign the extension when they offer it to him. I think
Yeah, I
Tyrese
think.
Maxey stays. It's
Yeah.
easy. Pascal Siakam. Oh no, I'm sorry. James Harden is a restricted free agent. What do you think happens with him? You think he resigns?
I mean, I mean, I would assume he resigns, but it depends on how much another team, I guess, offers.
Do you think another team would offer him?
I think another team could offer him something. Um, it just they, I guess the if he since he's restricted, the Clippers have an opportunity
To
to
match
match
him.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends on how much I guess another team offers James Harden possibly, and then if the Clippers want to match it. Um, I guess right now I'm gonna say yeah, he's resigned. Just because I think there's you have if you bring him in there with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard if he stays healthy and Westbrook, I mean you got a pretty good four right there. The problem is that it just hasn't worked out for that team. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like what do you do at this point? So I'm just gonna say that they're gonna match the offer if it's a decent amount and they feel like they can match it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
But they'll let him
wouldn't be
walk.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up going somewhere else. But I just don't know who else is out there. I haven't heard
Me
James Harden
too.
name mixed with
Me,
anybody.
me neither.
But I
Nothing.
have heard. I, was it the Rockets and Paul George, or was it the Rockets and LeBron? It was the Rockets and LeBron, right?
It was the Rockets and LeBron.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay, we talked about that already, but we already said in LA. But I didn't hear about that.
No. It
I think it
was
was right.
Rockets and KD. It was Rockets and KD.
Kevin Durant. Yeah, that's who it was. Damn.
Rockets
You're
trying to
right.
get
You're right.
KD.
You're right. Yeah. That's right. I know it was some name out there, some big name. Yeah. Okay. My bad. Never mind.
Yeah, nah, it was crazy because they're trying to. What's up, Mo?
What's up, brothers? How y'all doing?
What's
We're
up,
doing
Mo?
good, man. We're doing good. We talking about
My bad for being late. You know, I had to get on some meetings and stuff going on.
oh, you good, you good. My bad. It's I
Where
think
we at?
it's something in your background.
Yeah, I'm about to get it. Hold on.
But yeah, Craig, man, I haven't heard Mo, we talking about the free agents, man. We're talking about the NBA free agents. We just finished talking about James Harden. I haven't heard anything.
Uh, I mean, not about James Harden. I heard about Paul Pierce, where a lot of people think Paul Pierce was. I mean, not Paul Pierce, Paul George. Where Paul George supposed to go, but I've heard nothing about Harden yet. I know OG just signed. It's been a lot of stuff going on. I'm looking at the draft right now in the corner of my screen. You know, Wizards made their pick, and now they got another pick in the at 14th because they traded for the 14th pick. Because they traded Avalari to Portland for Malcolm Brogdon, and they got the 14th pick now. So they got the second and 14th pick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we was talking about what Harden. We was talking about George.
Nah, we all said Paul George gonna stay in LA, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people say that Philly should make a hard pass for him. Philly should go hard for him, but that would be interesting. But also from a chemistry standpoint, I'm just trying to think how you gonna go with it because if you ain't got the right coaching, it's like who gonna get the ball last? How they gonna work with that? You know, will Maxi will he take a back door? Will Paul George take a more a third role? Like how would that roll? Like I'm kind of concerned how that would roll.
Yeah, I don't. I think he just stays in LA. It's like home. Oh, yeah, Mo. We were talking about James Harden. He's a restricted free agent. I haven't heard anything. Craig has not heard anything. I have
I
not
think.
heard any team
I mean, I think
about
he should
James Harden.
stay. I don't think. I mean, I think he should stay. I just don't
Yeah,
see.
I think he has to. I don't
Yeah,
think there's
I
no
don't. I
market.
don't think. Let me say this: somebody would throw money at him because just who it is, just where we are in life. But I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't think he'll get nothing from a. I don't think he'll get nothing from a contender. Let's say that. Like, where could he go right now without staying with the Clippers? Where he go to a contender? Somebody could legitimately say, "Okay, we're fighting for a championship."
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you, Mo. It's hard because they did that new CBA. They have that second apron rule, so it's hard to sign a lot of players.
It,
So a
it,
lot of teams aren't really trying to get hard capped, and they're not trying to go into that second apron.
hey man,
So
listen.
it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard if James Harden hasn't buzzed any interest at this point in
Right
time.
now,
I don't
now,
know if he has any options.
hey, listen. No disrespect, but right quick sidebar. James, yeah, we talk about this all the time. It's about the money. This man left for Arkansas, and for them to still have this man on here commentating about players, and I get relationships. This is about money. It ain't about the relationships. I'm
Who you
sorry.
talking
Let me
about?
not say that. They got John Calipari on here talking about his players getting drafted. Man, you left for Arkansas. Like, come on, man. Like this about your relationship with players. See, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not looking the corner of my eye and see him on here and they gonna put the Arkansas sign on there. Somebody he new coach of Arkansas. That just triggered me right quick.
Nah,
I'm
you
sorry. Yeah. Like, come on,
nah,
man. That ain't even about the players, you know, and that's about the relationships. But I get it. But it's also about the money. Let's get John Calipari out there and stir some stuff up.
yeah,
But it's
I
cool.
get it.
It's cool.
Pascal Siakam signed with the Pacers. We all know
Yeah,
that.
sign back. Yeah,
OG just signed a 5-year, 212
Yeah,
million,
Scotty Barnes.
212.5.
Yeah, Scotty Barnes signed back with Toronto on his rookie on the rookie type of deal under the CBA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he signed back with them. He got a
He
stint. Well, he
got
got a rookie extension.
he got ridiculously paid for. Man, money
I
is just
that Scotty
crazy with some of
Barnes
these
joint. That
teams.
Scotty Barnes joint is crazy.
A lot of these teams have.
But you gotta think about it. Toronto don't never sign back none of these stars. Don't never keep none of these stars. So they felt like we gotta keep something. You lost Kyle Lowry, OG left. Like you gotta keep something. At this point, you gotta keep something. Like you can't
Pascal,
keep letting everybody go.
Pascal
What
left.
stars they brought back or kept long term? Like they've always let their stars go. So it's
What's the
like,
free agent that went to Houston, the point guard?
Relax on that Kyle Lowry stuff. I've
Oh, what's
always
this?
hated Kyle Lowry.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you his name. Who left Toronto too, Mo? Fred Van Vliet. He left
yeah,
Toronto too.
they never kept their people. So
Isaiah Harton sign is not re-signing with the Knicks.
I believe what
Well, they
money
can't.
left.
He can't. He can't, Mo, because remember that CBA with that second apron.
Yeah, what I'm saying, what money left after you gave her? You
Yeah,
can't pay everybody.
Well, if they didn't trade for Bridges, they would have had enough money.
Right, but I'm saying once you did that, you can't keep everybody.
It's a
Like you had
wrap.
to make a sacrifice.
I mean, I liked it
Sacrifice gotta
better.
be.
To be honest with you, they were like Hartenstein's giving a hard bargain. I was like, okay. I would rather have Miles Bridges than
No, I get.
Hartenstein.
No, I'm not arguing that, but I'm saying at the end of the day, I'm not mad at Hartenstein because like you gotta get
No.
paid when you gotta get paid.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
gotta
get
get
yours.
paid.
You gotta get in where you fit it. Get it where you
Yeah,
fit it.
you got to. You
Nowadays,
better.
you gotta cash out. It's about family. I don't know if he got wife, kids. I don't know what his situation is, but you gotta get in where you fit it.
Well, he's not going to be a New York Knick. So I don't know where he's going to sign. Because the Knicks could have offered him the most money. So, I mean, we'll see. Let's talk about the next one, Craig. DeMar DeRozan. He is an unrestricted free agent. It's been a lot of talk about where he lands and is he going to a championship caliber team. Where do you think he ends up? Do you think he goes to a contender?
At this point in his career, I would at least try to go to a contender. He's in his mid-30s, so I think he has to try to find. He's been playing with mediocre teams all his life, so at this point, I think he has to try to find something that's going to be like a beneficial, I guess final destination for him at this point because he just hasn't had success in terms of making it to like the conference finals or the NBA finals for at all. So
Yeah.
in the Chicago Bulls team, that just ain't it. I know he was talking about trying to go out west back to Cali for the longest time. I don't know if a team like Golden State makes sense, depending on what happens with Klay Thompson. Or I know there were talks about him going to the Clippers, but I don't know if it depends on, I guess, what happens with either Paul George and or James Harden. Obviously, I think if Harden goes and they don't re-sign him, they can get DeMar DeRozan possibly.
Yeah.
Or maybe if Paul George goes, then they can probably get DeMar DeRozan there as well. Maybe the Lakers. I think there was always talk with him, or at least in past seasons, there was talk about him going to the Lakers.
I would like it, but I don't think we can only offer him the minimum.
Yeah, I was about to say you probably can't afford him right now, depending on what they do with their roster. They restructure their roster or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
But I just think he has to go to some type of contender. I would say Dallas, but I don't know. I think they could use another scorer, especially what we saw in the finals. It just wasn't. They just didn't have enough. I don't know if they were just tired or whatever, but But DeMar DeRozan to me hasn't really been known for his defense like that. I don't really get like a solid defender from him.
Yeah.
Although I think he can play defense, but he's just not. That's not what he's known for, I guess. So, um, it's going to be tough for him. But I think what he's done over the past couple of years, he should get a landing spot somewhere. But I would try to look not for a team like the Bulls again or something like that, just to make a payday. I would try to go somewhere to try to end my career off with some type of opportunity to win a ring, even if I'm not the first or second option. I need to try to be in that type of contention at this point, like Damian Lillard, for example.
Do you think that he signs a big deal? Or
I think
he takes like not the veteran minimum, but the $10 to $12 million mid-level exception. You think he takes a mid-level exception?
It depends on maybe it depends on the team. If it's like the Lakers or the Clippers or somebody like that, he goes back home. He might be willing to actually sacrifice that, especially after all the money he's made in his career, just to be around, familiar faces, I guess, and to be comfortable. He might be willing to do that, versus going to another situation where it's kind of the opposite, and you're kind of just trying to scratch to get into the playoffs or something like that, or have opportunities to make the playoffs or something like that. You're just not competitive like it's been the last couple of years in Chicago for him. So I would try to, if I can't get a really good long-term deal or like a really good payout, if it's like the Lakers or the Clippers or somebody that calling my name, the Warriors or something, yeah, I would try to land on something like that, or just a title contending team in general. See what happens.
Nah, Mo. What do you think about DeMar DeRozan? That is a very good point, Craig. I wonder if he's going to take the money or.
How much DeMar DeRozan is made?
It's going to be interesting. Mo, what do you think about DeMar DeRozan? Unrestricted. Where do you think he goes? You think he's like, I need this championship?
Yeah, I think he does. At this point, it's like Craig said, it's like you in a situation now where it's like, you want the bread or you want a chip? I think I've never, and we're never going to check somebody's pockets. But it's like, at the end of the day, he's in a situation where we're comfortable enough to say this, to where, are you going for another contract just to keep patting your pockets, or are you really about your legacy to say I'm a champion? Because you left and you saw your partner, you saw Kyle Lowry get a chip. Like, if you're a competitor, if you're somebody, I think I want a chip. I'm like, what can I do to get a chip? So I think if I'm him, I would really take a hardcore look and be like, even if I take a lesser contract, where can I go to win a chip?
All right,
I think
it depends. He might try to find a team like, if Paul George resigns, Golden State could be an option. Because that thing plays out. We're gonna get to him a little bit later. All right, so Kentavious Caldwell Pope, he's unrestricted. I think he resigns with the Nuggets probably. Oh, how much was DeMar DeRozan making, Craig?
I was trying to pull it up, but my computer's acting all slow and weird.
Let me see. I got you.
I was trying to pull up his career. Oh, career earnings. God damn. $257 million. Is that right? 257,609,000? That can't be right. That's what it says.
For real? You said 207 million?
257?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think he signed some good sized contracts. I think
so. Almost 258 million out of his career. So he could always get some more money. He's made a lot. So So I think his last contract was 3 years, about 82 million, give or take.
Okay.
So
3 years, 82.
yeah, that was his last contract with the Bulls. But his career earnings, it says, according to Spotrac, how do you say it,
Yeah, spot track.
257 million.
36. Okay, so that's 36. He's making 36 a year.
It's insane.
How much you think he's
His
going to
career.
sign for? How much you think he's going to
I mean,
sign
if he's
for?
looking at something like this,
He
I
might
think it
take
just
a
depends
pay
on the
cut.
team. I think it depends on the team.
Yeah.
Now, you look at a team like Orlando or Miami or like Dallas or I don't know who else, teams that don't have any state income tax.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to make out easier. Teams in Texas, you're going to make out a lot easier versus going to LA because you're going to hit that tax. Those taxes are going to be crazy. But he's also from LA, so it just depends on the
I think if
situation.
he goes, I think so.
But I haven't really,
Honestly,
outside of like the Clippers, I haven't heard his name brought up. Clippers
me
and Lakers.
neither. Me neither. I haven't.
So I
And
don't know though.
The Lakers and the Clippers. I feel like the
So
Clippers ain't gonna have no cap space. Nor the
I
Lakers.
just want to. Well, I think depends on what they do with James Harden and or Paul George. Then I think they can probably make a move for DeRozan
Yeah.
if he wants to go there with that team. Because I mean, the team is loaded. He's not going to get 20 some points a game like he was getting there. He's not going to be the number one option. Just like Bridges, it's not going to be getting 20 points a game. I don't think in New York. You got to kind of pull that Dwayne Wade and just like take a back seat and kind of like you're not gonna get know that you're not gonna get the same amount of shots or the same amount of points. You got to kind of sacrifice for the team a little bit. So I don't know, man. DeMar DeRozan is a real interesting one at this point in his career.
It is. That's why I asked. I was like, yo, It's a very interesting. I'm gonna want to see where he goes for how much. It's gonna be
Because he's
something
made
I'm
some
gonna,
money.
I'm gonna look for. He's made a lot of money. I wonder how because he might be looking at it like this might be his last good one.
Yeah,
Like,
I
man, let me get this last 60, 2 years 60. I can get it, and then after that, he might sign a vet.
I do agree
You
with.
know,
God damn it. I do agree with what most said. He's either going for the ring or he's going in his legacy or he's going for another payday. I think Gilbert Arenas will probably go for the payday.
oh yeah, you know what Gil doing. Well, Gil said that
Yeah, I know. That's why
he
I brought
took.
it up.
Yeah. He said he took less. He said he regretted it.
Mm-hmm.
So he regretted to this day. He was like, They were like, take less. We're gonna sign this person. He took less and they didn't do it. He was like, I should have never did it.
Yeah.
Says, yeah. I was like, I get it. I get some. It sucks when some organizations do that, man. You know, it
Oh, the
sucks.
Hornets doing, man. I don't even care.
Huh? Who?
Um, the Hornets.
Hornets
The
drafted some
Hornets.
dude from France. What's going on?
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah, Portland about to pick it. Portland about to pick. Oh, Portland about to get their first pick. They clean get picked yet? The big man get picked
Yeah.
from
He went to Portland. Yukon Klingon.
he went right now. It's something you know
Yeah,
behind y'all. You know my team
went
behind
seven.
y'all, so I don't know. All right, I
He
figured
went
that.
seven to Portland.
Okay, that's where they thought they was going. That's where everybody thought he was going. Okay, bow tie. All right,
But I mean, they got DeAndre Ayton out there. Now you
Yeah,
got
that's
two
it.
big men.
That's a little weird.
Maybe they're gonna get rid of Ayton and try to trade him.
Yeah, or maybe they feel like they can't play both, but maybe they think they're gonna play it off and put them back to back.
Maybe they can put Ayton at power forward.
Okay, Bobby Hurley.
I
Okay, Bobby
don't
Hurley.
know.
Bobby Hurley, you had what? You had
I
boy.
don't know.
Listen,
You talking about
you
stretch the
think- hey,
floor
listen,
nowadays? I
if
don't
you
know
did
about
down,
that.
if you did down build your stock, listen, you turn down a Lakers job and they have two dudes drafted in the top 10. Yeah, okay. If you think they don't help you out and get recruits there, yeah, okay.
You talking about Dan Hurley?
Yeah, you talking about Dan Hurley.
Yeah, the coach. Yeah, now I mean, you turn
said
down
Bobby
Lakers.
He said,
Now
he
you
said
say
his brother.
Oh, my bad.
Who another guy went to Duke, man.
Oh,
Yeah, he
yeah, my
did.
bad. Yeah.
No, I mean, but I mean, that's his personal decision. I think.
No, I'm saying to have now to do that and to be right there and have two dudes drafting the top 10, top 7, like what top 7? Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's what he
And he's
want. He
gonna
wanted to
be
go back. That's his. You know, he wanted to go back to college.
I know the
Last
and
guard,
he's
few
you know
gonna
the
years
guard,
ago,
they said the
he had
guard,
check.
he's like a bigger, they said he's like a bigger Drew Holiday. He's
Yeah,
6'5", they say how he defends. His shot ain't there. Really, they gotta develop it.
I
But
love it. I love it, but I don't know any these people because the NBA draft. Maybe
yeah, I
they'll
don't know, do we
develop.
draft it? I hear out of
Maybe they'll
stock. I
develop,
mean,
but
Watson, now we got the 14th pick. Let's see what we do. But
yeah. All right, Klay Thompson. Where does Klay Thompson go?
uh I've heard rumors. I like Orlando. Just as a veteran dude, a shooter. I like as a champion. I like bringing. Sometimes I guess people will say like he's not gonna be asked to do a lot there. It's not like, but I think he brings another shooter mentality. He brings a winning culture there. I think he would be like how can I say this? I don't want to say an Andre Iguodala there because I don't want to say championship. I don't want to disrespect and jump out there like that. But I think he can make that. I think Klay Thompson can make that type of impact there. As far as you bringing a veteran to a team who is who is trying to get that next level, I think Klay Thompson can be that type of guy to help take them to another level. I'm not gonna say the next level championship, but I think to another level. I think he can do it.
Okay. Craig, what do you think about Klay Thompson? Where do you think he goes?
I think the Warriors want him back. I don't think he wants to go back at this point. I guess they could make it work and he could get over what's going on and go back and whatever else. But man, this is tough. This is another tough one because he's getting up there in age too, just like DeRozan. Except the only thing is that he's won multiple championships.
Yep.
But he's just not the same player that he was before he got hurt back to back. So I think the Warriors are still an option. A team that could use some shooting, possibly, that wants to probably win. Maybe like, hey, I would say Philly, maybe as an option. I think they could use some, depending on what happens. I think they could use a shooter.
Yeah.
He's probably going to want a lot of money, I would assume. I don't think he's going to take a pay cut, especially after the media screwed him out of making one of the all NBA teams that he didn't get the Supermax deal.
Oh yeah.
So a few years ago, when he should have. But I don't know, man. I think like Mo said, I think Orlando would not be a bad option. They could use some shooting.
Yeah.
I said Philly. Golden State definitely. I don't know about the Lakers. I think the Lakers could use him just because of his shooting, but I just think he's going to cost too much, possibly.
That's the thing. I think he's gonna cost too much. I think.
Yeah.
If I could be honest.
So I haven't really heard any names outside of Golden State for Klay Thompson, though. Or not names, but any teams.
I've heard Orlando.
Okay. I haven't heard anything.
Orlando's interested in Paul George, interested in Klay. They want some more shooting. So if Klay wants, like, I think it depends on the years. Like if Golden State signed Klay to a 3-year, 4-year deal, he'll do it. But last year they offered him a 2-year. So why would they offer him more after this year of play?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to be like in Orlando. I think he's going to leave.
I think if he leaves, then I think Golden State has to fill that void and try to get somebody of note that's in the free agency, or make it. I don't want to say make a trade, but because it ain't gonna be the same without this factor.
Yeah, because if Paul George resigns, they say they're trying to trade for Paul George. But Paul George has to force his way out to Golden State. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Oh, and they still gotta make a decision on Chris Paul.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
coming soon too. I think that's coming soon. I think it is.
He might. I heard his name with the Lakers too.
Who?
Chris
Chris
Paul.
Paul.
I heard Chris Paul. I heard that. I don't know. Him and Rondo don't get along. Rondo gonna be on the coaching staff.
Oh, that's right. He did go. They did get Rondo as a coach.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't
Rondo
fucking
coach?
like each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Assistant
Rondo been in the coaching. He been trying to get in the coaching for a while. If you follow him, he been trying to get in the coaching for a minute. I think Rondo be a good coach. He's very intelligent basketball player. He's a very high basketball IQ. But him and Chris Paul don't get along. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Oh, yeah.
But Rondo gets along with LeBron James. He gets along with JJ Redick. I think him and JJ Redick are close. LeBron was coaching with Rondo. And, there's a story that Rondo and LeBron in the bubble were out coaching the coaches. It's very, very, very interesting. Cool story. All right, so there are some NBA trades rumors about certain players that are huge that are probably going to be traded. They probably are. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to start off with Trae Young because I think he might be I think he probably the biggest star on a trade market. Yeah. What do y'all think about Trae Young? Y'all think Trae Young gets traded? And he did come out and say if Atlanta does move on from him, he would like to go to LA, the Spurs, or the Pelicans.
I think the Spurs would be a good option for him.
Spurs would be good.
Yeah. I mean, it would be good, but I also think like with the Spurs, like how long would what's name stay there? How long will Doc Popovich stay there?
Pop is already there, Mo.
He said, "How long would he stay there?"
Pop signed like an 6-year deal.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
He did. Mo, he signed like a.
No, I'm not arguing that. But I'm saying how long will he stay there? I'm not arguing that.
He gonna do exactly what they did with the Heat. He gonna go upstairs. He gonna hire somebody just like Pat Riley hired Spoelstra. He's gonna do the same thing. Spurs. I can see him in LA. I can see him fitting with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. He'll spread them out. Pelicans will be interesting.
Yeah, especially if Zion can stay healthy. Well, what Zion did in the play-in and towards the end of the season, that would definitely be interesting. Especially if they keep that Ingram, especially keep Ingram McCollum.
They traded Ingram. They're trading him.
They traded him?
No, they're talking about trading Ingram.
Huh.
He's on the list. He's like.
But I mean, all right. Let's say they do though. If you talk about let's just say they get Trae Young and they trade Ray Ingram. You're talking about Trae Young, McCollum, and Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
How far you think that goes though? Like how far where you put them in as far as the West? I mean, I don't want to say playoff. I don't want to say as far as let's just say a season. Let's say
seven.
I mean, I think that keeps them status quo. I don't think that pushing them far. If you get rid of Ingram and you bring Trae Young with Zion and McCollum, I don't know how far that pushes them. I don't know in the West. Because the West is better. The West gonna get better because you gotta think about it. The West had a lot of injuries, so you gotta re-evaluate the West and say if people stay healthy. Now you gotta go in what if so. That's tough for me. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like it, But if you can get rid of Ingram, not knowing what you want, not knowing where the health is with Zion, that's tough for me. That's tough.
I don't know, Craig. What do you think? What you think it's the best Spurs?
I think the Spurs are pretty good. I think if he goes, he's just. I mean, I think if he goes to LA, yeah, you're gonna have a nice shooter, which is what I think JJ is looking for. But he's not gonna. He's not a really good defender.
No, he's not. He's not. He's
I
not.
think I think D'Lo is a better defender. You're not gonna get. I mean, I think he can knock down some threes too, but sometimes he just has that
Yeah, but he gonna show up in the
lackadaisical. I'm taking time off type thing, like
But he gonna show up in the playoffs. So
Trae Young or D'Lo.
Trae Young.
Yeah, Trae Young gonna show up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's just I just don't. But I think in the playoffs, defense comes to the fore. Like you saw how many points, how much points were scored in the regular season, and then it kind of shrunk down in the playoffs. Like teams weren't averaging what they were averaging, or you didn't see a bunch of those high scoring games like you saw in the regular season in the playoffs for the most part. And I just think that you're going to have to get some defenders in there, and D'Lo to me is a better defender. Sometimes he can have those flashes, but he just looks like sometimes he just doesn't want to be there. So I think the Spurs would be a good fit. I just think him and Wemby you could build around him and Wemby, and I think that would kind of get Pop rejuvenated a little bit because his teams that he just has in the last like 7 years, 6-7 years have just not been competitive. So
Zach Eads got drafted.
Oh my God, he went to
he went to Memphis. Yeah, Memphis just got him. Yeah, Memphis.
They don't want to win.
I didn't even think he was going first round. I was kind of shocked. My bad. No respect to him. I love him, but
I heard he was going first round. But he was not a lottery pick. Oh my God, you don't want to win.
I didn't think that was going to happen. Remember, we kept talking about that.
Slow. Right. He can't spread the floor. He doesn't fit in the NBA.
All right, so let me ask you. Hold up. With Memphis, how does that make sense? Like, even with John Morant on the court, how does that make sense? I'm not a basketball person like that. Y'all more the basketball people, so how does that make sense?
It doesn't.
What in the world? That's a head scratcher because I saw him going maybe like 14, maybe late lottery, maybe like somewhere in the middle of the first round.
That's top 10. I heard him 17 to the Lakers. I heard Lakers. He was tied to the Lakers.
Yeah. I saw one that had him in like at the highest I think I saw was maybe like 14 or something.
Well, how does this make sense with Memphis? I'm trying to think. Like, even with John Morant on the floor, like, how does this make sense like that? Because top 10, you got to play right now. Top 10 ain't no role player. Top 10 ain't no role player. Like how does that make sense?
I think like Ja likes to get up and push the ball. Like he's like to get up and down the court. I just don't see
that. So how does Edie run him? So how does Edie run with him? Like how does that spread the court? Like how does that make sense? Because
it does.
John Morant like to get in and go. So Edie not running with no John Morant. So it's like how does that make sense? I'm confused. I'm sorry.
It's GG's.
I
don't get it.
Some NBA franchise want to win, some don't.
But I think with
James already have Jared Jackson.
I mean, somebody told me this. Like with this draft being so weak, people won't reach. And I'm not no disrespect to Edie. I feel like it's a reach. I feel like this truly speaks to how weak this draft is. That's a reach. Because I don't care who your PR person is. How do you justify this? How do you justify this pick?
I don't know.
Especially when you have you already have Jaren Jackson, but right. I think
it's a reach.
He's 6. I mean, he's 6'11".
Don't they still got Sam Adams? You know, he missed a year with a knee injury.
Who?
Sam Adams.
Steve Adams.
Oh, Steve Adams. I thought his name Sam. My bad.
That's the beer, man.
No, it ain't. I said beer.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm not getting it. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, but DeJounte Murray is another Atlanta guard. Is going to get. I really think he's going to go to LA. I think so, but he's going to get traded. Because I don't know. I think Atlanta wants to start over or something. I'm serious. I heard this. I heard they're gonna trade both guards. Their names.
I mean, I think
coming
you're gonna
up.
trade one. I don't think you're gonna trade both because of
I
the pick
don't
they
know.
just made. I don't think they're gonna trade both.
I don't know that it keeps coming up. They're on the trade block, both of them. Their names wouldn't be both on there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're
Um,
doing. Um. So let me ask y'all this: what do you think about um Brandon Ingram? So the reason they want to trade him, Mo, is because he got into it with the coach at the end of the year. He got benched, I believe, during the play-in. Was it the play-in, Craig? He got benched.
Probably. I think so. Yeah,
I
maybe.
think so. Yeah. I don't.
It sounds about right.
And the USA team, he kind of got benched. Where do you see Brandon Ingram ended up, Mo? Because they're gonna trade him.
Uh,
I can see him in Philly if they get
yeah,
a
yeah,
offer.
yeah.
Especially if they don't go out and get somebody in free
Yeah,
agency.
because Tobias Harris ain't gonna cut it. Tobias Harris ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah.
So
Tobias Harris is not gonna
I
cut it.
see that.
I can see him in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I can see him in
But
Atlanta.
I think, yeah.
You could trade him. You could trade him for Trey Young.
Yeah, I can see him in Atlanta. I can see him in
You could have DeJounte Murray.
I mean, I hate to
Yeah,
say it,
man.
but I can see him in Brooklyn because you got trade, you got to
Oh,
figure out.
Brooklyn, Brooklyn ain't trading for him.
Nah, that's fair. But
I can see him in Dallas if Dallas. I mean,
but I mean, you got to trade for him though, right? You could sign him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
gotta
think you gotta
trade.
trade for
You
him.
gotta trade for him. You gotta trade, and he's not gonna be cheap.
Yeah, nah, he not. And
Yeah,
you already going to pay. Like, listen, like
He
you already
fits-
paying you already paying what you paying, and you still owe money on Hardaway Jr. You still got to pay the others. Nah, I don't think they can do that.
I don't think he gets traded. Maybe I don't think he might not get traded within the conference because they're
Nah,
still
he definitely going
competitive.
East. I don't think he's going to
I
trade him.
think the Nets thing where the Nets are trying to tank and trying to get rid of their star because they're just trying to rebuild their team. This is two teams who made it to the playoffs last year. That I don't know if he stays in the West if they're going to trade him. That's why I think he probably goes to like a Philly or Miami or some other team like that. Although I think Dallas would be a fit just because I think they could get him another score.
Yeah,
They need another score. They need somebody that can stretch the floor a little bit more.
yeah.
More versatile. But I think Philly would be a good one.
You think Philly would be good? Yeah.
Get rid of Tobias. Get Tobias.
He will fit
Get
right
Tobias.
for Philly.
Trade him for Tobias Harris and then throw in some picks or something like that. Throw in the pick that they got coming up. I don't know where they pick in the draft, but throw in that pick and Tobias Harris and somebody else.
Yeah.
Or Brandon Ingram.
Nah, seriously. I think he fits there. Maybe Orlando. Orlando might be. I know they're looking for something.
I hate to say
What's up?
No, I was about to say it's a lot of good Duke players in the NBA. I don't get it, but yeah.
So what about what about Darius Garland? Do you think he resigns in Cleveland? Because I heard his name up in the trade rumors as well.
I think if he can work it out with maybe he'll have a sit down or something with the coach and Donovan Mitchell, and maybe they can try to figure something out, especially if Mitchell's going to resign. And I think you have. I mean, at that point, you have to either play with him or you have to say, "Nah, I want to get traded." But I think he has enough talent where he could garner some offers, some attention. He's still young.
Yeah, definitely. He's very young.
I think he can fit in LA if you trade him for D'Lo and D'Lo and some other stuff or whatever it is. LA would be a pretty good one. The Spurs would be another good one if they don't get Trae Young or they don't trade for Trae Young or something like that. You could pair him with another young point guard, pair him with Wemby.
Yep. I mean, that'd be. I mean, he's so young. What do you think about his talent? Do you think he? Because he was a
I think he's,
lottery pick. He was a lottery pick. Do you think he's like
I think he's,
talented? Do you
I
think
think he's
like
still.
he's worth it?
I think he's talented. I think he can still. I think he can play. I think he can play on a bunch of teams. I think he's worth it for a specific team. It just has to be the right fit. I don't know if Cleveland is that right fit right now, just because of the whole issues thing. But
Yeah.
now they got a new coach. Maybe they can make it work.
Maybe
But
I know him and Donovan weren't agreeing on some things.
yeah, so I think if he gets into the right
Yeah.
situation, I think it'll be fine.
It was some back and forth. It was like he was calling him immature, and yeah, and then Darius came back and was like, the leadership is. It was some petty stuff. It was some back and forth stuff. So, but I don't know. Um, well, Darius Garland did say if Donovan Mitchell comes back, trade me. So he's probably gonna get traded.
I hope we have
I believe he said that. I
hope we
believe
have some teams in mind because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, normally in the NBA, you kind of, at least if you're a star, you kind of get what you want half the time and get to go
Yeah.
pretty much
Mhm.
basically where you want, which is insane. But it is a players' league, so
There's a players league. He'll be able to go somewhere like Houston, or he'll be able to go. He'll go to the
Houston would not be
Spurs.
a bad one.
Nah, he could. That's what I'm saying. He could find it. He's young. He could
But
LA.
I mean,
Somebody's
hold.
gonna trade for him. Somebody's gonna
But
trade.
yeah,
For
I
him.
think what they is drafted, I don't. It doesn't make sense.
What you mean to trade for him?
No, what they is drafted. You gotta think about what they is drafted.
Oh well,
No.
the Spurs did just draft the point guard. I did notice that.
No, I
So
thought you said, oh my bad. I thought you said Houston. So
Houston just drafted the kid out of Kentucky, the two
yeah,
guard.
so it's like you guard load now. Now you guard load. Now you guard
We have a
load.
lot of guards
Yeah.
in
I
Houston.
mean, yeah, he could. He could. There's places I think Garland could fit. Spurs.
They're up and coming though. I think they're maybe like one or two players away.
I'm good. I'm good with the Spurs, but I don't think Houston. He can.
You said Houston's 1 or 2 players away.
I think for making the playoffs, they were right
I
there
think so.
close last year. I thought they were going to make it at one point.
They're
They
pretty
kind of fell
good.
apart down the stretch, but
Yeah.
and they also okay.
That's
So
Sengun.
a point guard,
That's
a point guard
Sengun.
might not be the best option because they got Van Vliet too.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
So they got Amen Thompson, Van Vliet, Jalen Green. Yeah, they got a lot of guards.
Yeah, they do.
Reed Shepard now. Yeah. I think they got to get rid of Dylan Brooks though, but I think he's trash.
Yeah.
All right. So, and I would talk about Zach LaVine, but I don't think he has a trade market. He has no trade value.
Yeah.
There's nobody talking about it.
Zach LaVine is a
Stay,
he's
It's
a
hard.
good player,
his
but
contract is crazy, but he be hurt a lot.
I don't know about Zach LaVine. I think he can play though.
I think so, but like,
I think he can play. He averaged like almost 28 a game a few years ago, and then this past year I think he had like almost 20 or a little over 20. So he was right there again, but he didn't play a lot of games. So.
Nah, he was averaging.
Yeah,
He was averaging 24. And he averaged 19.
He's played in just 77 games or more just once in like since 2016.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna. You got to know that when you get him, you're probably gonna get a guy who's gonna be hurt.
Probably. That's why I think he don't have no trade.
But
value.
he can play.
He can play. I think they're
play.
asking for too much, and everybody's like, no.
I think.
His contract is crazy too.
I don't know who he.
I'm about to
Damn,
tell
it
you
says
his contract.
trade rumors. Levine to the Bulls, Pistons.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're trying to get
Pistons.
rid of him. Oh, they sent him to the Pistons. That's pretty bad, man. They sent
I
him
don't
to
know.
the
He's been
Pistons.
also
That's
linked.
bad, man. Yeah, remember? So he signed. Look, this is how much he's making. Craig, you ready? He's making $43 million in 2024-2025. He's making $45 million in 25-26, and then he has a player option for $48 million
Mm.
26-27. I'm not taking that contract.
I don't know who wants that contract.
I'm not taking that.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
No, I'm good,
especially when
dog.
you
How
don't.
about Zach? Nope, I'm good.
Especially if he was healthy all the time, he's still like almost. He's got to be like
Yeah.
29, 30, something like that. So if he's healthy, he can be an asset, but he just can't stay healthy, and you got to pay him that type of contract.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. All right. So, guys, Craig, you know what time it is. This is the final, maybe the final segment till we come back. So, we're gonna end on Craig's top five to end the year. Our fourth quarter. Let's go.
Well, this is just something I just threw up because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, but I don't know if I like this top five, but I'm going with it. It's my top five summer Olympic sports that I'm going to watch and be
Oh, I
interested in,
like
and
it. I
I
like it.
love when they come up that are not the usual like typical sports like swimming. Obviously, stuff like the swimming, basketball, the 5v5 basketball, boxing, track for me, soccer, all that. Like I'm definitely gonna watch those. But like besides those, like I'm throwing some off the wall ones on here. So number five, I personally like archery. I don't know why I like it, but it
Interesting.
just
Archery?
yeah, it just interests me. I don't know why. Uh, it's like one of the first ones that I start watching. Maybe it's like one of the first ones that they have, like on the first day or something like that. Besides like soccer, which kind of starts before the Olympics actually start. But I don't know why I'm interested in archery because it's just not something I normally watch, I guess. But I just like sometimes when they put archery on, I watch it. I kind of gravitate towards it. Um, so that's my number five. My number four, I'm going beach volleyball. I like a little 2-on-2 beach volleyball, especially when the American teams
Like
have
that
been,
too.
or at
Yeah,
least
yeah,
in
yeah.
the
The beach is
past,
fire.
especially the women's,
They
they
be
were just
dominant.
dominant.
They be dominant.
The men's had a couple good teams in there too, with that tall guy and that short dude a couple years ago, or a couple Olympics ago. But I'm all for the beach volleyball, man. I enjoy it. My number three is water polo. Man, water polo is interesting. It's a cool sport. I just kind of gravitated towards it a few Olympics ago, I guess, and kind of been interested in it. It's just something that I guess not a lot. It's not real popular here, obviously, but um, I actually like looking forward to watching some water polo. Um, so I'm definitely going to be watching that. My number two is this just happened or just started in the last Olympics, which I'm glad they added, which is 3-on-3 or 3v3 basketball.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's
I'm already into the big three. I already like basketball. So I think one of the American team, I don't know if it was the men's or the women's, they won gold last year. So
I
there's
think
a
it was a
couple of people.
women's. I think it was a women's.
Yeah, there's a couple of people I think that play from that the big three got from the 3v3 basketball team to play in their league. I think they're still in the league. I can't remember what team they're on, but and there are a couple other people I think that played in the 3v3 that were kind of like noticeable or of note. So I like the 3-on-3 basketball. Um, it's interesting how they do their rules, do their scoring and things like that. Compared to like the big three, which is the only thing I can really compare it to. But I like it. And my number one is I always got to watch it. I love handball. Handball
What?
is a very it's fat. I love handball, man. It's like every time it comes on, I don't care who the teams are.
That's
I just
crazy.
gotta watch it. Unless something else is on that piquing my interest, I do watch some handball. I got to put it on in the background
What?
and have it on my yeah. It's a cool sport. It's like a mixture of basketball and like I guess it's kind of like soccer or lacrosse because it has a goalie or hockey because it has a goalie and it has a net obviously. So it's kind of got that going. You can dribble the ball like a basketball, but it's a smaller ball and you just throw it into the net. It's a sport that I don't think Americans are in it have a handball team, but I do go out there and I do watch it.
For real? You don't think we have it? Or you like maybe we
I don't
didn't
think I know
qualify?
it's not a American sport, but I don't think Americans usually participate in handball. But I
Okay.
always find my way to watch it, and I always like watch the medal games, the gold medal and the bronze medal games, and all that stuff. Um, it's just something that's I don't know how I got hooked on it. I just saw it one day, and I was like, "Yo, this is cool. It's something different that Americans don't do, I guess." So
I
I was
mean,
hooked.
that's interesting.
Only other one I left out that I really watch during the Olympics is rugby, and we have a rugby team I know,
Hmm.
and I know there's like even a local Old Glory DC Old or whatever they're called, a rugby team locally. So
Yeah.
it's just something again that we just don't. I need at least I don't watch on a regular basis.
Mm.
And then next Olympics they got flag football coming.
Oh, I
They
can't
got
wait, and that's gonna be in LA. Oh,
they
Craig.
got squash, whatever that is. We got a couple different,
It
like
was
three or
the
four different
women's.
ones.
It was the
Hmm?
women's 2020 that won gold.
Oh,
Three
for
by
3
three.
basketball.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew some. I knew
Mm-hmm.
somebody
Yep.
did. So
Yep.
from America.
Yep. It was the United States. I don't know who was on that team.
I can't. I don't know. I think it might have been a couple of WNBA players, or maybe like
I,
a
th- I think I
WNBA
think
player.
hey I think Haley Van Lilith was on that team. Um
Wasn't she a WNBA player or something?
no, um she went back to
LSU.
oh my
LSU.
bad. Yeah, she went back to she went to transfer portal to another school. Oh, I'm sorry, it has it here. My bad, it was not. It was Stephanie Dolson, um
Mhm.
Alicia Gray, Kelsey Plum,
Oh, Kelsey Plum.
yep,
She's
and
obviously.
Jacqueline Young. They're the ones that won the gold.
Yeah, Kelsey Plum. You got Kelsey Plum on your team.
Yep.
Oh, well, she also didn't play in the play for the Olympic team last year, so this will be her first time playing for the women's national team. And I think Alicia Gray is a WNBA player too. Her name
I
sounds
believe
familiar.
so. Yes,
They
Alicia
probably got
Gray.
some WNBA players going there again, just because, especially the ones that didn't make the Olympic team.
Yeah.
You can probably try out for this team and make it.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. Well, all right, guys. We are gonna see you. We are out. We're taking a break. We're still gonna see our clips. We're still gonna post those. But we are taking a break, guys. We love you. We're gonna be back
Don't forget
when
Power
this
Slap comes
football
on Friday,
season.
man.
Oh, I gotta watch Power Slap, man. I was
We'll be
just
watching at
listening.
9 p.m.
I
Eastern.
gotta watch it.
It's it's a
Is
free
it?
one. It's Power Slap 8. They got
Oh, when is it? When is it? When is it? It's still on that channel, right?
it's on the Rumble app or
Rumble,
Rumble.com. Rumble
Rumble.com.
app
I think
or
I
whatever.
downloaded it. I downloaded that app.
Or you can just go to Rumble.com on your laptop or something like that, or Roku or not what's up,
When is
Fire
it?
Stick. Huh?
When is it?
It's Friday at
I'm
9 p.m.
watching it. I'm watching it Friday
They
night.
got the super heavyweights going. They got
Man, it's some of those
what's the
guys,
girl's name?
Craig.
Paige Van Zant, who was a
Yeah.
former UFC fighter, and she went to AEW wrestling and all that. She's gonna be power in I guess she's gonna be doing a comp or doing a match.
I saw some of those guys, Craig, that was in that house, and some of those guys that were dominating that, I seen them get slapped out.
Yeah, man. It's just like
I was like, dang.
I haven't really seen too many
Uh,
people go on like a nice run where they just don't get
uh,
beat. I think I seen one guy, and then he was like 5-0, and then he got KO'd. He lost the belt. Then his next fight, I think he took it too soon. He got KO'd again. So he lost back-to-back fights in like I don't know how many months it was, like 3 months, something like that.
You gotta be mentally different to do power slap. You gotta be mentally different. You gotta be prepared to get knocked out.
Somebody slap you in the face, especially if you get slapped in the face first and you get knocked
You
out.
good?
You don't even get your get back. You just done.
You're out.
You're done.
You're out.
Or What's even worse is, well, that's not even worse. I guess that'd be worse. But or if they slap you, but then you get knocked out, but they commit a foul, you win the match. You win the match because they committed the foul, but you don't but you can't continue. So that's the reason why you won the match, but you still get knocked out.
You still get knocked out.
It's so crazy, man.
Shout out to Power Slap, man.
But it's very, very interesting to me. I love Power Slap.
Man, that joint was crazy. I'll see some guys talk trash. Listen, you getting knocked out. I see some guys. I see somebody in Power Slap I seen him get slapped so hard he got knocked out, and he was like, "I'm gonna try again. And my wife was like, she said, "James, who's gonna tell him? Poor baby, he's not built for this." It was during the show, and he went to another match like the next day. He got knocked out again. And he was like, "You know what? I think I'm good on the Power Slap."
Yeah, some people don't need to come back. I seen this one dude his head hit the table in the front and he bounced back. I'm like, why are the crazy thing is they have people that can catch them, but sometimes they just don't catch them. They just let them fall. I'm like, either you why are you there? Either you gotta let them fall or you're gonna catch them.
They be falling crazy.
I don't get it. But
I've been sitting there like, yo, this joint is crazy, but it's entertaining. But yeah, guys, we fourth quarter is out. We're gonna be on break. We're gonna see y'all August. Everybody, y'all enjoy your summer. Be safe. Fourth quarter is out. We will see y'all NFL season 2024. We're gonna see y'all before that. We gotta do some NFL talk.
Hey, my apologies, missed the segment on finding the coaches.
Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. We're going to talk about the NFL August. There was so much NBA going on. But all right, guys, we're out, man. Peace.
All right.